Happy Sundays with Cinnamon.
Happy, happy.
Happy, happy. You look like an angel. The light's going through
Oh,
your hair.
thank you. And with my Brooklyn shirt on.
Oh,
I'm a
cute.
Brooklyn angel. So we were just talking before the camera went on about what we would talk about, and we decided that it would be about energy. And I just had a conversation with my son, and he had concerns about a certain issue where I was concerned, and I called him back, and you know how you do that phone tag thing, and I spoke to the issue that he had around me, and he said the most beautiful and most straightforward thing. He said, "Mom, I heard your energy." It's like he didn't have to hear the words. He heard my energy and got the message, whatever that message needed to be for him. So it didn't even matter what message I was conveying. What mattered was the energy with which I was conveying it. That tapped into his heart, and he answered his own questions with the energy of love that I was sending to him. It tapped into his energy of love. Now, in the same way, the energy of fear does the same thing. Fear will bang into itself. Love will ease into itself.
And this so goes with parenting. I mean, it's hand on
anything. You know, you're parenting the grocer. I mean, when you're like at a checkout stand and the grocer's upsetting themselves because of the guy that was just ahead of you, you parent them. You bring them. They could be 20 years older than you, and you just bring them back to the heart with something lighthearted or whatever it is. It's all about energy, and it's so interesting that I tell people say wow instead of why. A three-letter word that starts with W, wow, why. And today I was noticing I have wow written on a little piece of slate on my windowsill, and I smile when I see it. And then I looked at it this morning, and I saw it upside down. It spells mom. And I thought, yeah, I am momming the world.
Yes, you are.
As that's what God does. God moms and pops the world. And so it's, again, remember, energy is so critical. The words are just so much less important. Words are very important. Do not think that I don't mean words are important.
Oh, everyone knows you're the language Nazi.
That's right, right. And they are less important than the delivery, than the heart or the fear with which you deliver them. Like,
I so noticed.
Wow, your face really looks good today, or wow, your face looks good today. You know, same words, different energy, different delivery. So it's so important that when someone responds to you in a harsh way, you want to look at, how did I deliver that? Where was I coming from? Because if you were coming from fear or any kind of rejection, which is fear, they're going to pick it up. And if you weren't, you're going to immediately reach out. You're going to say, what did you just make that mean? The words. Because if they're reacting in a harsh way to something that you meant to be loving, then you can just love by saying, what did you make that mean? Because it wasn't what I was meaning. See, so energy, watching people's energy, watching your own, is how you navigate lovingly through the world, or fearfully.
And often we hear how people notice somebody's energy being negative, then we'll call them an emotional vampire, and ooh, they had bad energy. And what people aren't seeing is they bought into the energy, and then they had bad energy too.
Yeah, that takes us to a different topic of I call it energy slopping. You don't have to absorb people's fear. If you're loving, you're like Teflon.
Yes.
You feel it, you experience it, and you let it roll off so that you can love them and serve them by not taking offense. If you're taking offense, you're making a choice to do so.
Yes. Well, on Sunday, we have a Living Love class on Sunday for the teachers from 3 to 4, and then 4 to 6, we have parenting class. And I had something that I consider very big in my life. And I came in with a specific topic, and I came in with really addictive energy and control, as you know, wanting everything to work out just so. And I went in as if like, and I'm going to make it so. I'm going to make sure I did. I did. I went in and
Bring
said,
it on.
"Hey guys, let's get class started." And there is a difference between taking responsibility. I did take responsibility from, though, an addictive place. So what occurred, guys?
Well, that's a dichotomy. You're not taking responsibility when you're in addiction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Taking responsibility
Okay,
means taking power, and that was not powerful.
No,
Yeah.
and my mind told me that I was powerful because I was taking responsibility.
That's it. Good point.
Yes.
Because that's what people believe in their minds, that anger and frustration and pushing is power.
Yes.
It's
And
the
I was like,
illusion of power.
I am going to get what I want, and people are
You
not going to
didn't.
interrupt me. It was mouth dropping.
Comical.
It was
comical.
comical. So I go into class, you guys, and Julie, who owns it, and I'll say she won't mind. Julie owns the house, and she's an owner of Wilson Bennett, so she has a lot of beautiful things. Immediately, I said, "Julie, can you come sit down soon? I really need to get started. I have a lot to talk about." And we sit down, and Caden's in the car. He's playing the Kindle in the car. Alarm starts going off. And then our keys are on the coffee table and drinks. And Julie decides to become addicted to, she creates addiction around keys and water cups on her table. And I'm thinking, are you effing kidding me right now? We're sitting around spending time on Julie's minute addiction about keys being on when I've got a great addiction.
Real stuff.
I've got real stuff to talk about. And I totally did the comparison game. So what happened, folks, or what I co-created in my life was an absolute mess. I mean, there were interruptions.
It was a perfect
It was
mess.
comical. It was a perfect mess. And I'm not going to go into every one, but because I was in addiction, Julie felt it. It slopped over onto her. She bought in. She became even more addicted about her keys on the coffee, people's keys on the coffee. It was actually quite comical.
Yeah.
And finally I let go because I'm like, I can't control this thing even if I want to. So I might as well not.
Yeah, you let go. Yeah.
I did. I let go.
Yeah.
And it took me an hour to let go.
Yeah. It's funny how tenacious the mind is. Mm-hmm. If I just
My
hold
heart-
on just a little more, I'll get what I want.
I did.
Yeah.
And then when I saw a bunch of new people, not new, but people that don't normally come to Living Love, and they're outside waiting, and I'm going, this is like the biggest day, a nightmare of my life. Like, all I have is stuff I need to talk about. And nothing
And the thing
is working out for me.
The thing is, your mind says, I need. And what you need is what was exactly showing up. What you
I need
wanted
patience.
and what you needed. Yeah, and you do need to develop patience.
Yes.
And
And trust.
And compassion for yourself. See, if you had turned that, oh, I want this, into, wow, bless my heart, I'm just not going to get a chance to do this.
And that's what I did after an hour. I said, bless my heart. It's parenting class now.
Yeah.
And it's not in the flow to speak about what I want to speak about, and bless my heart.
Yeah.
I also want to speak about this shifting gears, is the fact that Julie's addiction was, even though it would seem to most people not as important as my addiction.
Oh, honey.
That's comparison.
And addiction is addiction.
I know, and I want you to really emphasize, it's very difficult for my mind. If someone's raped versus, okay, I'm addictively demanding that I'm not raped. And then there's this other person. I'm addictively demanding that I don't scratch up my coffee table. I'm sorry, Sin, my mind has such a
The
hard...
frustration and the pain is in addiction, not in the details. Now, love gets lost in the details because you separate yourself. You are devoid of compassion when you compare. I would be useless in the world if I compared everybody who came in here. My brother acted like he was going to kiss me, and they're crazy with fear. With my background, if I was comparing, what would I say? Will you just please go away? You have no idea what sexual harassment or sexual abuse, or you see what I mean? If I was comparing,
I know.
their addiction and their pain is addiction causes suffering, and suffering is suffering. And to compare, you are useless in the world when you compare. My suffering is worse than yours. It just isn't. Suffering is suffering, and we're here as teachers to be an example of alleviating suffering by choosing not to suffer. That doesn't mean we don't feel pain. I could weep now with the kind of pain that I experience in my body and in the world, in life, and I don't suffer. I sleep in whatever way I can, and I embrace the unexplainable in the world. And I say unexplainable as I refer to man's inhumanity to one another. And I don't focus on that. I focus on, okay, what can I do? How can I be a motivating force to change that?
Yes.
One of the ways is by being an example to children of choosing love.
Phone's ringing as usual.
Yes, and I actually am not going to answer it.
Okay.